What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We are here with Weekly Indie Newcomer, our Friday series where we take a look at an indie game that's been chilling on my hard drive and being played over the course of the last week. This week, we're going to be taking a look at Deep Dungeons of Doom, which is developed by Bossa. You can get it for $4.99 on Steam. I think it's on sale for like the next couple days for like $4.29. Save a couple cents. It's a mobile game that's been ported on over to the PC as far as I understand. And while I'm usually very anxious about games being ported from the mobile platform to the PC, as typically they have microtransaction schemes hidden somewhere inside of them, I am happy to say that Deep Dungeons of Doom thus far has had none of that. Now, I understand I haven't really told you what the game is. Deep Dungeons of Doom is an RPG action game which basically rips the guts. Basically, it rips all of the fat, all of the bones out of the RPG formula and just gives you the basic fighting and looting. That's all that the game is. So if you've ever played a game like 60 Second Hero, or if you've played a game... Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of the game. Well, there's a game where you're a knight and you're just running rightwards and you level up like in rapid style. It's also another mobile game. I have it from Desura sitting on my hard drive. I'd have to look it up and see what the name of the game is. I'll annotate it later, but this is again one of those games that's meant to be played like on your lunch break when you have about 10 minutes. It's not meant to be played in an extended sense, but the game does have a very high skill cap and is in fact very difficult. So let's have a look at the game and I'll explain it as we go. To adventure! Alright, and so now we are inside the game. So this is the map selection right here. This is where you will go through and you will play various dungeons, and each one of these little doors right here is a dungeon that I have not cleared. These little caverns right here are dungeons that I have just totally tore up. I went in and I was a boss, and I just ripped everybody a new one. And so these ones up here are kind of difficult. These ones up in the snow, there's definitely an order that you want to do these in. It's kind of terrifying. If you click on this will be your skill tree, and so there's a couple characters you get to play here. You've got the witch, you've got the mercenary, and you've got the crusader. And so each one plays a little bit differently. The combat is identical for all three of them, but they've each got little things that you want to pay more or less attention to. So for example, the crusader is a slow attacker, but he deals a little bit more damage. He defends average, and then on top of that, his power move heals himself. His skill sets tend to go up, and they have to do with just surviving and living a really long time. He tends to be spec'd into survivability for the most part. The witch, haven't really played her that much. I haven't gotten around to the witch yet. I have played the mercenary and the crusader a bit. The witch I haven't played. She's the magic user, and as far as I can tell, she deals quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, I think she probably... Where's her... Let's see her stats here. Maybe we'll play her first so that I can give you an idea what she does. We've got the mercenary over here who's very fast. He attacks very quickly, but really doesn't deal hardly any damage at all. His bonus ability allows him to just do a mega strike, kind of like an Omni Slash, where he just lays down the Daka in blade form and just totally rips the enemy's face off via razor. And so you get cash, you get to spend it on these things right here, these little stat trees that you have that are running around all over the place. There's all kinds of cool stuff to boost, there's combos. Basically, the game is going to show you how bad you are, though, before you ever get to do any of that. This game makes me feel foolish on almost a daily basis. These are stores right here you can go through and you can buy potions or whatever. That's what I look like after I smoke a bleezy on any given day. That's almost exactly what I look like when I'm sitting in my car. Just like, Anyways, let's go back over here. And this guy, not so much. He looks like he's been crying. He's come down off of his enjoyable high. Anyways, there's gear, there's weapons, there's items. You can only equip one piece of gear and one consumable per run. You loot things while you're in the dungeon as well. There's the Hall of Honor over here where you can look at your achievements, your high scores, your missions, etc. Let's go ahead and let's pick out a location to be in. There is a storyline in this game, and so every single location that you go to will have its own little humorous storyline. Basically, these adventurers are on their way out to just like purge evil from the world, and humorous things happen. So I guess, since I haven't played The Witch yet, I think this is actually probably a really good opportunity for me to show off how The Witch works. Now, you will forgive my key clacking throughout the course of this game. You do not play with the mouse. This entire game is just played with the directional buttons and the space bar. Other than that, you will never have to touch anything else. Let's go ahead and go with Enter, and we gotta go to a graveyard. I'm gonna skip the storyline so as not to post spoilers on any of you, and this is where the game is played out. Now, if you take a look, we're fighting an enemy right now, and there's two actions that we can take at any given moment. If we press right in our directional keys, that'll make us attack. And if you take a look at the bottom right hand corner, it just disappeared. There's a little sword icon. Every time we clear a floor, we get to loot, and you press down to go to the next floor. We've got a zombie on this floor. Now, as you can see, there is a sword icon in the bottom right hand corner. You see me circling it right there. That is your attack refresh. And so anytime that you attack, you'll see right there, it goes on to a cooldown, and I just got smacked in my face, unfortunately. Now, in the bottom left hand corner, you will see that there is a defensive icon. You can pop that whenever. and actually I'm pointing things out right now. It's unfortunate. I have to take my hand off the keyboard in order to point things out. But anyways, the game is essentially just blocking and attacking. That's all that the game is. Now, if you attack an enemy while they are actively attacking you, you will get a crit, but most of the time I will say that this is ill-advised because it means you're going to eat a hit. There's a perfect timing for every single mob, and sometimes it is razor thin. Like, seriously, sometimes the opening for you to both attack and defend on a mob is somewhere probably in the tenths of seconds. If I had to estimate it, it's very, very close. And so you will get better at the game, but unfortunately, the openings are very, very slim, and so it's going to take some skill to get good at the game. Now, every now and again, you're going to level up, and it's called a dungeon bonus. There are 4 stats that you can allocate, and they reset at the beginning of every dungeon. You can go to hit points, which gives you an extra heart. You can go with attack, which makes you hit for 1 more damage. You can go with agility, which makes your cooldown on your attack marker go down faster. Or you can go with magic. Magic is used in a number of ways. It is used to trigger certain items, and additionally, I think it has to do with certain spells for the witch. I'm going to go ahead, and since her attack is already really high, I'm going to give her some health. Our hearts are up at the top right here. Our mana is right there. If you take a look over here, we've got a potion. So if we press to the right, it will loot that into our inventory. And if we press the space bar, that will activate and give us some health. Now, all kinds of things can go into this item slot. You can get scrolls that eat up your health and then deal a huge amount of damage. You can get wands. There's all kinds of interesting items that you can put in right here, and they're all different for different classes. Like, certain classes are not going to be able to use certain items just based on the fact that they don't have enough mana, or they don't have this, or they don't have that. For example, the brass knuckles are simply incredible on the Crusader because he's already slow, and so they just make him hit really, really hard at the cost of resetting his agility, which is already awful. There's nothing to worry about right there, and so you will find certain synergies with certain items. Got ourselves a vampire right here. Now, I don't know, is it costing... Okay, so it's costing me mana every time I attack with her, unfortunately, and so I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to recharge at some point. Okay, and so what you see right there is if you hold down your attack key, every character has their own ability, so I'm going to block that. And then I'm going to regenerate mana a little bit. Okay, so her special ability is that she regenerates mana when you hold down the attack key. That's an interesting thing to note because many of the characters don't have a way... Well, the Crusader heals himself. The Mercenary does like a giant lead-in attack. Basically, he leans into it, puts his weight behind it, and does like a massive attack that does a ton of damage. It's pretty sweet. That right there is the paper that allows me to trade a little bit of my MP to do a big old chunk of damage. Also, I think it costs me some health. I'm going to skip it because I find that the classics are always the best to go with in this game, i.e. the healing potions. Let me get my cursor off the screen right there. And so this is basically the game right here. You will occasionally level up or make your character better, but by and large, most of the game is going to be spent just learning the timing of different mobs. Now, the mobs do become more and more complicated as you go through the game, and at the end there is going to be a boss. He's probably going to be really, really nasty, and he's probably going to do terrible things and hurt me and insult my mother and probably my heritage. He'll more than likely mutter something about my... Oh no, another vampire. Okay, so he's drooling. Either that or he's got a tongue that slightly detaches every single time that he licks, but I'm going to assume that he's bleeding. Oh, I just took a hit right there. Now, the challenge of this game is balancing out your combo counter. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll have my score followed by a ×1. Every time you land a hit, you get a combo counter. So you get, I think, +2 if you land a non-critical hit. If you land a critical hit, which means you hit at just the right moment when they attack, it gives you ×5. Every time that you get hit, it resets back down to 1, and anytime you block, it goes down by 2. And so the ultimate goal here is to bounce your skill counter, your score counter as high and as high and as high as you possibly can, and once you get up to the upper heavenly reaches, like ×50, it stops, and then the score will be yours. And I think there are leaderboards and things like that that you can compete on. Let's increase her agility slightly. I feel like she's attacking a bit slowly. I wish actually I can heal. I'm going to drink that potion right now, and if you looked, that made all of our hearts come back. Not all of them. We got like 3 HP out of it, but it's something. It's better than nothing. Alright, so we got a Headless Horseman right here. The Headless Horseman, as I recall, is a very slow attacker, but I think he hits like a truck when he actually does come down on you. I'm going to go ahead and block his next blow, and then I'm going to try and meditate to get some mana back because we are looking really, really low. And so as you can see, this game... Ow! Okay, he stabbed me like 14 times. That is very, very unkind. That is not the way to make yourself popular in high society. Multiple stabbings, not gonna do it. She's not my favorite character. She's not the one that I've been playing that much. You get to keep some of your gold every time that you die. The gold is used to buy permanent passive upgrades and also to buy gear, which will then be lost if you die. So it's a good thing that we use that healing potion, because in using that healing potion, it guarantees that it didn't go to waste. Now, when you die, you do have an option to go back down to the dungeon and try to regain your gear, but it's sort of RNG-ish. It's hit or miss. Sometimes Sometimes you get your gear, sometimes you don't. Other times, well, it goes well sometimes, other times it doesn't. This game is highly gear dependent. Like, the right piece of gear on the right run will make this game ridiculously easy. For example, I cleared out all of these based on the fact that I picked up like one item that allowed me to pistol whip everything to death without any harm done to myself. Let's try this one over here. I've never done this one. I'll show off the Crusader next, since that's the one that I keep working on. We're gonna skip the storyline because obviously you want to see the gameplay. Wait, can I not go in there yet? Oh no, it was just doing storyline. Alright, let's go with the Crusader because he is my favorite so far. He's got a healing spell, which is pretty sweet. Wait. Oh, it's forcing me to... Okay, maybe it's forcing me to do this first. The Crusader's got himself a shield, and he's also got himself some bitchin'-ass armor, and so that's why he's my favorite. Anybody who has heavy armor, whenever I play MMOs or anything like that, I always find that I am the dude that has to wear plate mail armor. I just like plate mail. I don't know what it is about plate mail. I just enjoy every facet of it. I love every little inch of plate mail, everything about it. I like scale mail, I like heavy armor, and I was gonna go for the crit right there, but I decided to... There we go. There's the crit. That put us up to ×10 on our score multiplier. Now, when I play the Crusader, I very much prefer... There are many items in this game that bottom out one of your stats, and I find that the one that gets bottomed out the most is agility. So when I play this game, I don't tend to touch agility very much, because almost a ton of the items drop your agility by like -3, and if you put all of your points into agility, then pick that item up, it'll probably boost your attack, but it wastes, you know, it wastes the amount of points that you put in. So I tend to go with attack, since very few items thus far that I've seen lower attack. And so there it is. I'll try and get the timing right. The timing on the Templar or the Crusader's healing spell is very difficult. It takes a while to charge up, but I'm gonna try and get it off right here. Actually, this is a good mob for me to show it off with. Oh yeah, I forgot that if you miss your timing... So if you miss your timing, it actually resets your counter as well, and it gets you into a little bit of trouble, and it stops your global cooldown from recharging properly. Alright, so right here, if you look, I could charge that up right there, and then he can heal himself, but I wasn't missing any health at the moment, so it didn't really do much for me. Let's get a little bit of damage done right there. Ah, he evaded. Ah, well, what are you gonna do? And so we've taken him out. You can attack. That's a bug that I've noticed. After the mob dies, if you time it right, you can attack one more time, and it always increases your combo counter. So if the developers end up seeing this video, that might be something you want to look into. I don't know if anybody's reported it on your forums, but if you attack after the mob has died, it still makes your score counter go up. I'm going to pick that up, even though it's not that useful. We can take a look at it by pressing the C key. And so this right here is a Contract of the Vampire. On use, I will gain 1 HP, and it deals 2 damage to the opponent. That's pretty good, actually. That's not a bad item. I've got an ability called Holier Than Thou. That's a passive, though, that gives me extra HP and also gives me a Miracle Heal chance. I don't know what Miracle Heal is. I've never seen anything pop up and be like, Miracle Heal! It just has not happened yet. I probably should have put... Maybe I'll put a warning up on the video that I'm about to get loud. Alright, so what I prefer to do, let's see if we can clip this little guy. There we go. So we got the crit. Now, if you start to get good at the game, you'll learn the timing for the various mobs, and you'll be able to get your combo counter up really high. Like on the first couple levels, I can get my counter up to max almost every single time, but the later levels do get really difficult. I have reset my game once already and kind of run through a bunch of the levels, a bunch of the level ups, and taking a look at some of the later mobs, they get really difficult. Now, this mob right here is one that you never want to try and heal against because he will get you. And there we go. He's all out of the way. It wouldn't let me. Okay, I was trying to charge. I was going to see if it would let me charge up a heal right there. I'm going to continue with attack. And so now we're dealing 4 damage per swing. We've picked up 15 gold, which is oh so much better than 14 gold. All of the gold has skulls on it, though, which I find to be mildly threatening. This guy right here, I think I'm going to get all up in his business. If he lands his first blow, I'm pretty sure he stabs you like 400 times. I'm not interested in being stabbed even one time, and so I'm just going to go straight after him and DPS the hell out of him. We've got some scrolls right now that we can fall back on in case we get ourselves into an ugly situation. Our combo counter is looking good. Hopefully we don't get into any mischief that's going to ruin our situation, because right now it's actually looking really good for us. There we go, a little bit more damage. I don't know if we can get more contracts of the vampire, but I would like to. There we go. Got him with the crit, and that leaves us at a +17. Oh, apparently we just got an achievement. Now, I don't know what these little shieldy things do over here. I haven't really located what I use those for. They do something, I assume, because it keeps awarding them to me. Even in my other game, which I reset, I don't know what I do with that. There are riposte attacks? I didn't even know that was in the game. Okay. Find a monster called the Practice Dummy. Basically, there's a whole bunch of achievements. So if you're an achievement hound like me, there are lots of cool things around. This right here is actually a really good item. This is called the Wolf Fang. It gives you +3 to attack, it gives you a ton of resistance to poison, and it gives you HP per floor that you clear, which is awesome if you get hit a lot like I do. So this will actually allow us to clear out the remainder of the level really easily. Like, seriously, we're going to breeze through the rest of this level, hopefully. I'm gonna wait for him to attack. There we go. 14 crit, a big ol' hit right there. That puts us, what is that? Is that just a sword made of bones? Let's see. It is the bone sword. Pay 1 magic, plus 2 HP, plus 1 HP per floor, plus 1 agility. But it doesn't allow me to attack any harder. That's the trade-off, is it does make us very, very fast. The downside being that we're losing our attack bonus. I'm going to stick with the Wolf Fang for right now. I find it to be a better item. This right here is a shrine. You can activate it and it will do something. I think it just gave us health back. Let me see if I get a couple hits off right here. I'm really going to try. There we go. We got that off. That was the perfect timing right there where he just starts to reel in for his attack. Got a double crit right there. We've got ourselves up to plus 17. Oh, good. We got the riposta. Okay, so the riposta are just the criticals. So that's, I guess, what they're officially called. Reach 500 points. I got that already. We're already at 1343 with a times 40 multiplier. That's really, really good. What is this? The Hal's Ring. Completely infallible. What did it say? It said something. Completely foolproof and incapable of error. Oh, it's Hal's Ring. I get it. Okay, so they're making a movie reference right now. It is plus 20 resistance to magic damage, plus 2 max HP, plus 1 attack, plus 3 magic. Wow, that's really good, but you lose health for every floor that you go down. So I think I'm probably going to bail on that one, too. There are certain character types that were going to benefit from that more than others, and ours is not one of them. Let's go ahead and slash up one of these dudes right here. I remember the boss of this level being fairly difficult. I'm not sure. Ow! How dare you, sir? How dare you? Just let me pass. We've already achieved 500 points. Apparently today we're getting all kinds of achievements. There we go. What's in the treasure chest? I'm going to go for more attack. I'm going to stick to our good... What I found in life is that you should stick to your strong points. You need to isolate what your weak points are, stick to your strong points. Right now, attack is our strong point. We're going to stick to it. This right here, I think, is a mana potion. I mean, you can just pick something up and loot it real fast if you don't want to lose it for anything, or if you don't want to use it for anything else. Things to think about right there. I love the fact that we are regenerating as we're going through these floors. We unfortunately lost our counter because I got hit. I'm going to go ahead and give him a riposte attack, and that's going to give us the plus 17. What is this sword right here? Another bone sword. Interesting. I haven't seen this many weapons drop like ever. I've been playing this game quite a bit over the last couple days, and I haven't seen this many weapons drop. It's going very, very well for us right now. I went for the riposte right there because I knew his health was going to be reasonably low. What is this? Is this another vampiric contract? Contract of the vampire. Boon given by the gods from the bloody shrine. Okay. So that's the same thing that we already had. Unfortunately, they aren't going to stack. I wish we could stack those up to 6. It would make me happier. At the end of the level, you can stash the things that you've picked up in case you were wondering, so that you can save like a big old cache for yourself if you wanted to sort of live on the edge a little bit. I think we should be able to take him out. I was going to go for the riposte right there, but I didn't want to risk it. He gets like 5 hits on you if you riposte wrong, and so I tend to avoid it with the mobs that have really, really, really high damage if you screw up, because screwing up is something that I have a high skill level in. I am well versed at it. Oh, he double attacked. So the mob patterns are different. What you will find is that the same mob may attack in a number of different ways. And so, for example, the way that I would show it off is in one of the maps. Well, you've already seen it. The vampire didn't typically double attack like that in previous floors. So what I'm saying is, as you go through the game, the same mob may have a different attack pattern. So right around the time that you get used to the attack pattern that they're using, they may whip out another one, which is a great way to get yourself just dominated. Because in this game, you actually don't have that much HP. You die very, very quickly. Unfortunately, he had a rebirth ability, which makes him come back. A lot of the mobs have weird little abilities like that that allow them to respawn or come back and cause you trouble if you don't get rid of them quickly. This right here is a loot vendor. If I press to the... Actually, I can click. And so it'll allow you to take a choice of some items. None of them look very interesting to me, so I'm just going to avoid it. This floor is actually... Hey, we got a miracle heal. I don't know what that means, but hey, I'll take it. I think it means we probably just got like a bonus... Ow, I missed that one very badly. Unfortunately, that means that I'm going to have to use my vampire thingy. There we go. I'm going to use all my vampire thingies to get my health back up. And I'm going to keep going with attack because it hasn't failed us thus far. It feels as though our attack power is not failing us. I think I'm going to stick to my strong points. We're not at the boss yet, interestingly enough. This is a very, very deep dungeon. They weren't kidding. They were not kidding about deep dungeons of doom. He just blocked my attack. That's not very kind. You should allow me to kill you. You are undead. You're essentially fodder for my adventures. Like, you could just kind of throw loot at me and then fall over and give me free points. Another shrine, the Apprehension Shrine. Let's go for it. It's time to meet your fate. Okay, and so here's the boss. Let's go ahead and get on him. I don't know exactly what he does. It looks like he pistol whips us, and he also looks like he has some kind of weak spot. I don't know really what that means, so I'm just going to keep grilling him. Okay, so when he's smoky, you probably don't want to attack him. And so let's just allow him to smoke. I'm going to block his attacks. I'm going to go in for a heal right now. I think we were probably supposed to hit him right there when he was shooting at me. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Alright, so there's 2 hits right there. He's going to try and reload, and when he reloads, it's going to put him into a weakness mode, and then he's going to die. And every single boss is like that, where they have like a different pattern, but then they have a weak spot that you can hit them on that then makes them fall over and take even more damage. Every boss I've fought so far has been like that, and so in a number of ways, I like this game. I like this game as a time pass, and in fact, I think I might like it better on my phone than I do on my PC. The Dead Man's Blood. Oh yeah, we needed that to open a door on another level. So in the storyline, I needed the Dead Man's Blood for something. And so there it is. They're going to talk about, the storyline. I'm going to allow that there's a full, like, tons of artwork in this game. So if you were into, the dungeons are going to get harder from here. Take care. Awesome. Just what I always hoped for. What is this? Oh, this is another skill up spot. Oh, it allows me to go in a different direction. Okay. Good. All right. So let's go back. And I think what I'm going to do right now is we are a little bit low on time. Not totally low on time, but at the moment, I think I'm going to focus. Actually, no, it doesn't. I can actually buy these whenever I want, so I think these are probably unlocked by level then. So we can go for the first one in the chain here is +1 to agility, a touch of evil. If there's one thing I know about Crusaders, it's typically that they don't go for evil, but yeah, +1 to agility sounds great. What does this one do? Painkiller, 8% resistance to debuffs, 8% resistance to physical damage, 3% chance to evade. So evade, if you ever mess up your defense, evade is just a flat chance that you'll get the hell out of the way, and the mercenary has a lot of it. Like, I find that the mercenary dodges a lot, so if you're bad at the game, the mercenary is a great way to go in order to keep yourself up and alive. +1 HP per floor isn't bad either, but it's very, very expensive. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. She's got +0.5 agility, +2% miracle heal chance, +1 magic per floor, so that's probably good for her. She's called the, let's see, okay. And then for the mercenary, we've got minus agility, but +1 to attack. And so actually for him, there's going to be a detriment to speccing down this way. Whereas his normal center ability goes for 5% magical torrent chance, 5% miracle heal chance. I don't know what magical torrent is either, unfortunately. I've been focusing mostly on the Crusader. I think that's probably the best way to play the game, too, is because you get such a limited amount of score while you're going through. A limited amount of gold. You may want to stick with one character and just kind of learn that one inside and out and then reset the game and play another one. I mean, obviously, I think you can replay levels. Yeah, so you can replay levels. So if you want to grind up gold for your other characters, that's obviously a thing that you can do. Do I have anything in my stash right now? Oh, good. I still have the Vampire Fang. So let's go ahead and start up with... Let's start a new level, I guess. We'll start a new level. We'll play around with some new stuff. The Witch's Hideout. Okay, no one ever came back to tell us how it is. We'll go ahead and stick that. The characters have witty banter in between each other. It's a very, very interesting game. I actually got a lot more out of this game than I expected to get. If I'm being fair, I kind of came into this game going, alright, it's going to be a mobile game, so I'm expecting it to be thinly veiled, just light entertainment that you're supposed to play for like 10 minutes. But what I found the other night is that I sat down and started playing this game for like hours. It turned into actually one of those mobile games that I could see myself playing a lot whenever I get myself into a boring corner, like you end up getting automotive work done or anything like that, or sitting at a bus stop or something. Definitely a good game for that, and you're probably going to continue your gameplay on through. Now, the pros and cons for this game are going to be a little bit odd, because really I feel like this game is for $5, this is a game where you're not really losing out. If you enjoy simple games that have a high skill cap and that require reflexes, then you'll probably enjoy this game a lot. It's got all the nice things to flesh out an RPG. It's got skill trees that you can spec into as differently as you'd like to. What is she doing right now? Oh, she blew up. Wait, she blew up. Oh, I dodged missiles. You see that right there? That's amazing. My medieval self knows how to deal with missiles. That's unexpected. I do find that the RPG elements, the action elements, everything about this game comes together very, very well. And in fact, the idea for the game in gutting an RPG and taking out all the bells and whistles except for the stuff that needs to be there, like skill points and attacking and looting, is an interesting idea. A lot of games are becoming more and more complicated today, and it's nice to see somebody take the idea in the opposite direction and come out with a winner. Obviously, the pixelized graphics are going to be one of those things that some people are going to hate, some people are going to love. I grew up in the Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Atari. I grew up in that generation where everything was pixelated, and so I tend to enjoy it a little bit more because it's nostalgic for me, but I know for some people they do not like pixel graphics. The other thing is that the game is not widescreen compatible, so if you take a look at the sides right here, it's formatted for a phone screen, and so unfortunately it's not 4:3, but it's not really, I'm not sure, it's not 4:3, but it's not, any of the widescreen formats, either 16:9 or 16:10, and so you do get this boxing in right here. This just comes by default. There's no way to get rid of this. You can also make it larger, so if you want to put it in 4:3, I think there's a thing in the options called pure pixel mode, which shrinks this screen down and makes it look more like a cell phone screen, and it does tighten up the animation. It makes the pixels look a little bit better, but it also makes this boxing on the side larger, and then also you get boxing at the top and at the bottom, and so making the pixels look a little bit better does come at a cost. The soundtrack is fantastic in this game. I like it very much. It reminds me of all the games that I used to play on the Nintendo. It's simple, but at the same time, it's repetitive, and you'll find yourself humming it while you're at work the next day, and you'll be like, where did I hear that tune from? And you won't quite be able to place it. The skill cap is very high for this game. As you get further and further on into the game, don't take it by these things that you're seeing right now. This game actually gets really, really gnarly once you get to some of the later dungeons. The enemies just start spamming abilities at you, and because there's no cooldown on your defense, it's almost like, I would describe it, what was the name of the guy in Legend of Dragoon who had the spear? The guy that was green, and he had like the hardest combos in the entire game. It's almost like that, where you have to learn the rhythm to some of the bosses, where you just learn that their attack is like tap, 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 tap on your defense. You know, like it's got that rhythmic sense to it, and once you learn it, then the game throws you for a loop by then mixing up their combo a little bit the next time that you see them. And so I feel like you're constantly adapting, you're constantly learning in this game. As far as the breadth of the game goes, I haven't beaten it yet. I reset it because I didn't like the way that I had spec'd, but the game appears to have quite a bit of content thus far. I am hoping that with a PC, I mistimed that. I am hoping that with the release on PC that they'll think about maybe throwing some DLC into it, adding some new characters, maybe some new maps, anything like that, you know, just to kind of service the PC a little bit more. I mean, some people aren't necessarily sold on an iPhone or on a Droid game up until they find out that there's like bonus content that you can't get on the mobile device. And so, you know, just little things that I've seen to add to the game, but thus far the game is a satisfying experience all by itself. Now, I know that I do these weekly indie newcomers. It's rare that I give anything a bad review, and so I wanted to talk about that at the back end of this. That's because I receive a lot of indie games, and if I don't like them, I just don't feature them. And so instead of saying something nasty about something that somebody's put a lot of love and care into, I'd rather just not show it off, you know? Like, I've never been one of those people that wants to vindictively destroy somebody else's, what may be their life's work. I mean, it's very, very easy to be a critic. It's very, very difficult to create something from nothing. And so by my opinion, anybody that creates something is by themselves already doing more than any critic can do at the apex of their work. That's just my personal opinion. So as somebody who critiques games and kind of goes through and takes a look at them and points out things that I do and don't like, if I don't like a game, I'd rather just not feature it and, you know, avoid saying anything nasty or foul about it. And so people have asked why I always say positive things about games in Weekly Indie Newcomer. Well, it's because I'm playing games that I've already verified that I like, and I just want to show them off and talk about the various things that I like. And then if there are some downsides, for example, like the rubber band, I'm sorry, not the enveloping on the sides of these, I'll talk about some of the cons, some of the things that turn me off about the game as well. And so if you want to get the game, it's on Steam right now. It's called Deep Dungeons of Doom, and it's by Bossa, and it's a fun little game. Don't expect a ton from it, but at the same time, it's a fulfilling little game for $5. I would pay $5 on the Droid or on the iPhone for it, and I would feel totally fulfilled with my purchase. It's not one of those games that I bought, played for 30 seconds, and was like, all right, I don't enjoy this any further, but it got me through a bus stop, you know what I mean? It's a game that you will come back to and enjoy. There are a number of specs, there's a number of ways you can play the game, there's a number of characters, and so it does have enough variability to where I keep playing it, and so I assume other people will as well. My name is Splattercat, this is Weekly Indie Newcomer, the series where I take a look at a game that I've been playing over the course of the last week that has been sent to me by a developer or that I have purchased, either or. Deep Dungeons of Doom is no exception. I've enjoyed the game tremendously over the course of the last 4 or 5 days. I hope that you will enjoy it as well. I don't know if there's a demo available, so if you're on the fence about it, verify, make sure that there's a demo beforehand. I hope that I've given you a feel for how the gameplay works. I wish that I could show you some of the harder fights, but I reset my game, which I think was probably ill-advised. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you any of the really difficult fights, but believe me when I say they become quite rhythmic and they almost bring out like a punch-out type combo. It turns into basically a 2-button punch-out type of game once you get a lot further. Take care out there, everybody, and I'll see you next Friday.